like that. But I'll be honest, like I don't really hang with a lot of like single dudes because they be on some single dude shit. You know what I mean? That ain't my speed. That ain't what I'm doing. As far as my wife, you got like you'd have to know my wife. My wife don't really like females like that too much. Like she think y'all real kind of messy and shit. So unless y'all are married, typically my wife not really fucking with you. I'm just saying that's just how she been. She got like one or two homegirls that she known from the damn the play yard, you know what I mean, the playground. But outside of that, she ain't fucking with nobody. No chicks that ain't married. It's just what it is. Oh, my bad. My bad. I got I got Shay going next. There you go.
Okay. So are we talking about marriage or just relationship in general? Like
The
dating?
question's at the bottom.
I read the question.
It's real. It's your context. I try not to provide context to you. You use your own, and you can explain your answer.
Okay. Well, I never thought about it, but I would say for me it would be different from my man because I do have single friends. I think because of the nature of what I do, I meet a lot of people, and sometimes those um, develop into friendships. So I connect and network with a lot of people, and they do. Some of my clients do develop into friendships, and so I would say maybe 70-30, like 30% single, 70% married. And for him, 90-10, 90% married, 10% single. It's not, everything isn't equal. And I'm not one of those feminists who thinks that everything should be equal. So, and I have my best friend, Crystal, going next.
All right. So I think I would go 80-20, and I'm talking same sex friends. So, because immediately when you say friends, relationships. So it needs to be about 80-20. And then any new friendships, they're new friends that's going to be our friends together as a couple. So if it's someone old that's been a friend that's around, that's probably going to be about that 20%. If he still has a single guy friend, if I still have a single lady friend, but as far as new friends that are like intimate, can possibly speak into my life, our marriage, 80-20. That's what I got there.
That's a bet. Who you got going next?
I'm going to go Dwayne.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I got you, Kendra. Don't even worry about it.
Hop on in.
Yeah. All right. So I'd say my wife really, I don't know, like she doesn't really care. I don't. I care, but that's just the fact that I brag about not having friends. That's just me. Like back in the day, Facebook, MySpace, and all that. Oh, I got all these friends. Man, get out of here with all that. Like as I got older, got married, I could care less. Deleted all that. Me personally, because I don't. Yeah, I don't mess with people like that. Most of the times, like the for me, or they fall off organically. If you ain't going in the same direction I'm going in, like laters. And then hey, if we catch up, hey, how's it doing? But yeah, we ain't kicking it like that. So yeah, my wife and I say we have a good friend of mine back from junior high. Like that's the only married couple we hang with. But other than that, yeah, we typically keep to ourselves.
Uh,
Let's go with Miss Lady. How do you say it on DY? Forgive my GED. Okay, forgive my GED.
Lady
Um,
Di.
all right.
Okay, so I agree with you with that. So At first, I didn't care, like when it was just me and my husband, but boyfriend at the time. Did not care because I'm all about, okay, who we gonna hook you up with? That was me. But then when I got married, like with the single people, with the single friends, I didn't care about the single friends. But when we got married, like our single friends was just falling off. Not because we dismissed them. It's just, I don't know what happened. It's like we got married and they just disappeared. And one person like deliberately deleted me and my husband off of social media and all this stuff. I'm like, what did we do? And he's asking me, what did you say to her? What did you do? I'm like, I didn't do anything. What did you do? And it was just weird. So now years later, I just can't sing any new single people I meet. I'll be nice, but we ain't kicking it like that because sometimes it's like that. People end up getting very jealous. It's like they can't help it. I understand, especially if they're like a little older. Sometimes it's like that. If they don't have the marriage or let's say the kids, then that's when it's like they want to just naturally compare, which is fine. But I'm no nonsense. I don't deal with that. So I'm just like, nope, we're not doing it. So I'm gonna say 99% married, 1% single.
That's what's up. Did everybody get to go? I feel like somebody I missed.
Prototype.
That's okay. Go ahead, Prototype.
So I initially understood the question as like, what percentage of friends are happy in like single versus married? But everybody answered it differently. As far as like friends, I mean, I'm friends with the same people I've like grew up with, and vice versa, man. Like, so if they're married, if they're single, if they've been through divorce, I really don't have a percentage. I just know my married friends are miserable, my single friends are loving it. So that's how I answer that question.
That's what's up. So that's good. So I won't say that. I would say that my percentage is similar to some of you all's. I prefer to have all married friends, and then maybe mentor, some people that are single. That's what I aspire to because I believe in marriage that much when it's done correctly. For me, I think I heard this pastor say the issue is not marriage; it's the people that's in the marriage. You know what I'm saying? So it works when you work it, right? So appreciate that. So that's a really good dialogue. And so last week I wanted to, today I want to kind of bounce up from last week. And some of the conversation from last week was regarding talking versus communicating. So as you all alluded to, you said that you had a particular percentage. Now, my question to you is that something that you say to your partner, or is that something that organically happens? So I'll say it again. Is it a situation where, okay, babe, you can't have single friends? Well, we need to be having married friends. Like, how does that conversation happen? Is it a talk or is it a different way of communicating? Does that make sense of my question?
Yeah, that's just organic, like for my household, right? Like that's what I was saying earlier. Like my wife don't tend to, kick it with single women just because she know they be on single women ish, and especially now modern single women, like man, she ain't with that. And my wife was raised more traditional, like she ain't with this goofy shit these little girls be on, man. It's just organic. I don't have to be like, hey baby, like I don't want you fucking with too many of these single hoes out here. Just don't do it, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like she don't be liking them anyways. And then with me, like I said, like I ain't never met no stranger. I always been an extrovert. I talk to people, I chop it, you know what I'm saying? But in my conversations with people and I start learning who's married and who ain't, I just naturally gravitate towards people that are married. It's just natural. My wife don't gotta come tell me you hanging out with too many of these single niggas. Like that ain't, you know what I'm saying? That ain't what she do. It's it's an organic thing.
That's what's up.
I want to agree with that. It is organic and how it should happen. And I think it's all about knowing your partner too. Like you have to know your spouse. And for me, I found most women who don't like other women have had issues with women. Like I'm that woman who has a lot of friends on a lot. And people will even say, even my best friends, they're like, you can't add another friend to this mix. But I haven't had issues with women. So I tend to have very strong and valuable relationships with both married and single women that don't interfere with the direction that I'm going in.
When you answered and you said that it was more 90%. If correct me if I'm wrong, by the way, too.
Mhm.
It was more 90% of your friends were single and 10% were married. Is that correct?
No, I said for him.
No, for you, I was talking about. My bad.
Oh, mine was 70-30. So 30% of my friends single, 70% married.
Okay, got you. My bad. Misheard.
No problem.
Yeah, I think it's, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Like at first, you know what I'm saying? It was like, I tell my wife about her friends and she ain't believe me. You know what I'm saying? Well, like that when she too quiet, bro. She sneaky, dog. You know what I'm saying? Watch out for her. You know what I'm saying? She's like, you don't know what you're talking about. What you did? That's my friend. I'm like, she a friend, all right. You know what I'm saying? Like then it'll come up, 2 months down the line. You know how y'all be having bad talk. You talked about the day you about to lay down. That girl was no shit. You always telling me about these hoes and I'll be listening. Right. So now at this point, like we 20 years in, right? So it's like if it's a chick she grew with, you know what I'm saying? She'll put her through the test at first, in a week or two, she'll be like, nope, she out of here. She gone. She out of here. You know what I'm saying? So it's like Quest said, now it's just organic, right? If she don't vibe with her and she ain't moving a certain way or she sees certain signs, she cut that shit off. She'll be like, I can't even rock with you like that. So like I said, at this point, it's not a communication. It's just an understanding she has and I have. You know what I'm saying? Me, I don't like having a bunch of friends, and Quest know this. You know what I'm saying? Because I expect a lot from my friends because I know the way my friends can count on me. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't rock with me like that, if I can't pick up the phone and call you or you don't call me, the HD know what it is. You know what I'm saying? There ain't no need for us to talk. Don't text me. Pick up the phone. You know what I'm saying? Because I understand, like, hey, you need me to come see you. You know what I'm saying? I'll make that trip for you out of town. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't got to be the one to do it. You know what I'm saying? So man, so I kind of roll solo dolo when it come to dudes. You know what I'm saying? But the friends I have, like the friends I got, are from childhood. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about sophomore year in high school, stuff like that. So
yeah, like so me and my husband, we don't have conversations about, well, can they be single or married? It doesn't matter, because me and him both, like, even how we were back in the day when we were younger, we hung out with everybody. It didn't matter what you look like, how you was, just the nerdiest or whatever that people used to put labels on people. I never put a label on anyone. I like you for who you are, and I kept it moving. It's just, as you get older, you just see a lot of foolishness, and I literally dismiss myself from people. It's not so much they dismissing them from me, which that could happen too from the things I mentioned earlier, but it's just mostly like, I don't want to deal with nonsense. I see that you like drama. I'm not going to be stuck in high school with you. So we're just not going to be cool anymore. But if I seen you, that's what's up. But yeah, it's organic, no conversation. I don't want to, say, well, we can't be friends with this person. We study people. So we see how they move, how they act. Sometimes it could be a test, because you have to test people these days. I don't care how it turns out, because you're not going to come in my life and think you about to destroy something. It ain't happening. I'm going to see you before you come. And that's how we move. Now, my husband is a little nicer, so he might not notice right away. But see, that's why there's the balance. You got me, and I'm going to be like, nah, I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one. And most of the times I'm right. And he'd be like, damn, you said it. You said that. And I was like, yeah, you got to pay attention, because sneaky people are just, they sneaky. People that have your interest at the lowest, they show themselves. You just have to listen to the conversation. They're going to say it within the conversation. You just have to understand what they're actually saying instead of thinking that they're being genuine. Because most of the time, people that's genuine sometimes are the worst ones. They'll come and get you when you're not even looking. And that's just speaking from experience. So I learned early. Now I just don't play those games. So I just like to protect my household and our peace, because I like to protect my husband's peace. And so I make sure I keep that within the whole realm of the whole house. It's a lot of us. We got a whole bunch of kids and everything. So you ain't coming in here destroying nothing. I'm good. But I do love helping as well. So I would never shy away from a single person. It's no personal attack. But if you come for me, you gotta leave.
So I mean, for me, you want to go, Crystal? You go.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. So for me, immediately with us saying the word friend, I think vulnerability, I think transparency, I think time, energy, like really relationship building. I value depth in my relationships, and those things alone take time. So a new person just coming in with me as a single person or to my relationship, exactly what you were speaking to as well, Lady Di, paying attention to that person, whether they're single or married. You're going to show your true colors if you really spend time with someone. And within my relationship, if there are relationships that my boyfriend has, that this person has been there for them, again, this is someone that he grew up with, this is someone that, again, has shown that they've been solid, whether they're single or married, that's someone that's valuable to him. And as long as they're not being disrespectful to our relationship, then they can still be a friend that's around. But I think that friendships, when we're using that word, to me, that immediately comes with a definition of kind of expectations, the understanding that I'm going to have with this person, and that alone takes time. And if someone isn't true and authentic and transparent and really has or wants what's best for you and your relationship, they're not going to be willing to even put in that time to build that type of genuine, authentic relationship with you or your spouse. So they're going to weed themselves out, period. That's why I say with my 80-20, any new relationships, me and my partner would be building that new relationship together, because it's that opportunity to have that time to really see and feel and understand if someone is transparent, authentic, genuine, and wants what's best for you. So that's what I think when it really comes to this word that we're using as friend. Like, it's not just some new person that gets to come in and speak into my life or speak into my goals or speak into my relationship with my boyfriend. No, you're not just some random new, hey girl, how it's going. You don't get that type of access to be willing to speak into those depth parts of me and my relationship or my life. Prototype.
So I don't know, married or single, like people could be toxic on either sides of the boat, right? A lot of times it be the married ones, you know, that you don't want to be involved with because you see how abusive their relationships are. You know, they're yelling and screaming at each other. They doing all types of wild stuff. They don't talk to each other right. You know what I mean? It's just like a lot of the married couples be disgruntled, man. So, I mean, I tend to hang out with more single people, to be honest, because the married people be so dysfunctional, and I don't function the way they do. So, I mean, you just got to be careful about who you let around. But I mean, it's positivity all the way around for me. So if you're not a positive person, married or single, that's all that really matter. But sometimes, in my experience, the married couples, man, we tend to stay away from because they be on some other ish, man. It's craziness.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. I enjoy people. But I enjoy the relationship with my wife more. So from the standpoint, like whenever I hear people talk about best friends, I'm like, you're hurting other people's feelings, right? Because they all want that spot. But my list of friends, it's not just friends, it's like best friends, and it's in this instance of me being selfish. Like, I know that they desire my best interest, because if not, they don't make the list. For me, they don't make the list. And then not only that, like I believe the way that my wife and I see time is we ain't got time for that. And if as for like single friends, because we care more about our family. So whenever it comes to that, like we don't get out much and go hang out with friends like that. If anything, it's like we're doing things as a pack. Like this panel right here, like how we see, like that's how it would be with married couples, like where we could bounce things off of each other. So prototype, as you're saying, like as for miserable, yeah, it can be, but then having a sounding board with other people, like, hey, am I tripping? Like whenever it comes to marriage, like sometimes you got to ask that question, like, hey, am I tripping? like, and you know, like talking to your guy friends that are married that are going through the same things. Like, we're going through this together, and it's one of those things where I need like the best advice. I need somebody to be honest with me, real with me. Like, hey, you tripping. And that's how I see it. And the only people that I don't see it as how single people can really too much speak into my life, because either you haven't been married or you have been married and
Shoot.
something didn't work out.
To be honest, my single friends keep me more accountable than my married friends.
Ain't none of them got nothing to say about my relationship. Shut the fuck up. You ain't got nothing to say about nothing over here. You know what I'm saying? I don't need your advice. I don't need your input. No. You know what I'm saying? You a friend. Be that. Stay over there. Chill out. You know what I'm saying? Ain't got nothing to do with my business. I don't talk marriage stuff to my friends because they ain't got nothing to do with what's going on over here. Right. And the biggest things, like I said, is the me, like, I understand, and shout out who said access earlier, right? I don't allow everybody access to me. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's a problem that a lot of people have, that they don't know how to stop people in their tracks. Like, you know what I'm saying? Nah, we friends. No, we not. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, you my friend. No, I ain't. We not friends. You know what I'm saying? We associates. I associate with you. I know you. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I don't share stuff like. That's what I don't have to bounce nothing, and this ain't no disrespect to Dwayne. I don't have to bounce nothing because I know the difference between right and wrong. You know what I'm saying? Again, I just believe in it, especially when it comes to your mate, your wife, the person you chose to lay down with. That's gonna have that headstone next to you at the end of the day, right? You got to set that ego down, right? If it's bad enough to be a problem, it's a problem that needs to be solved, right? And then at the end of the day, it's gonna be solved between you two.
So, hey Rick, so that level of discernment that you have, that's a gift. Everybody don't have that. A lot of us are like first times at this, didn't have like, we single parent home kind of people. So we all flying, like we all just kind of guessing and winging this thing.
But
so
everybody is though. You see
that's what I'm saying. If you have that,
right.
If you have that level of discernment, that's a gift. Because like sometimes people can't function without an idea of, we taking the Huxtables as an idea.
No,
you know what I'm saying? So.
And no, what I'm saying is this, right? And I hear what you're saying, right? But to me, that's an excuse. You see what I'm saying? To me, that's an excuse. Now, and again, this ain't attacking it, but the reason can be the excuse as well. You see what I'm saying? The excuse can be the reason, right? But what I'm saying is, at the end of the day, right? People, the truth of the matter is that the reason why people go to other people is because you don't trust your own judgment.
I was gonna say confidence.
Right. That's just the truth of the matter, right? What's going on. So to use Dwayne example, right? And again, not to pick on nobody, right? But to use his example, right? You going to ask somebody because you're not sure of yourself and how that information is relating to you, right? And what I do is, when it comes to my wife at this point in my life, I put the best intents forward. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm looking at it and it look weird to me, it's weird. You know what I'm saying? But if it's not, it's not. But when dealing with her, I always look for the best intentions for both of us. So even if I am tripping, I'm be like, nah, this my boo-boo. You know what I'm saying? Boom, boom, boom. Now, if it's a mistake I got to learn from, that's a mistake I got to learn from, right? But it's still my wife, and she's my priority number one, right? So it doesn't matter what it looks like or anybody else think about it. All that matters, and this to all y'all. Your marriage, it doesn't matter what it looked like to nobody. The only people it matter what it looked like to is y'all. That's it. I don't give a damn if the world against me and mine. I don't care. This me and her. Right? So again, if you use that as a guideline, I think you will get to the place you want to be a lot faster. You know what I'm saying? But I know you prototype at the end of the day, you about your family, bro. So as long as that's the number one plan, that's your discernment right there. Ain't nothing else needed.
So Ricky, where is go ahead.
Just to his point, to go off of that, like at one point, at least for me being a lady, I had a little issue with that at first. And it was like, I always had to, okay, well, what does, let's say, my mother think, right? And I was chasing kind of like her responses and her way of doing things. And I realized that it was kind of destroying my relationship. So when that happened to me, because not that she had terrible insight, it's just that she doesn't know my husband like I know my husband. So I should know what I can do in my relationship as far as my husband goes. She can never do that because we don't even live in the same space. So I realized, okay, cool. I'm gonna trust what I feel is right, and then I'll just talk to him. What do you think? And then me and him collectively had to build a very strong communication to just be able to discuss things. So when things are going south, we can like, okay, well, what can we do? Okay, let's look at the whole situation. Why was this wrong? What can we do better? You know, the resolution. And then we just trusted each other. When I did that, I promise you, I feel like a whole bunch of weight lifted off me because I didn't have to like ask anybody anything. I just talked to him. He talks to me. And then we just kind of do that. And I just felt that it was a little bit more healthier than the way I was doing it before. Because the way I was doing it before, I don't even know if I would have been married. So that's just my intake. So that's kind of like why I feel what Ricky's saying. And I actually do that too. That's all I want to say.
Yeah, so I'll put it like this. I don't have any shame in it, in the sense, because I do believe that wise counsel is important. And from a marriage standpoint, whenever you do have people that, let's say, had it modeled better, let's say like they grew up in a home where they had both their parents, and they are actually doing what you are inspiring to do. There's certain things that you pick up whenever you come from a structured home versus a broken home that makes marriage easier whenever you bring that together. So I remember someone had the criteria that one of the criteria for dating, the person he was seeking had to be from a healthy home where there was both parents. And that's important because, again, you're picking up certain things that you might necessarily not have, you may be deficient in. So whenever I look at it from that standpoint, I'm trying to break generational curses because both me and my wife came from broken homes. So in that instance, like whenever we can find a couple that has seen it modeled and are doing it right, I can appreciate that. I can appreciate them speaking into my life. Now, the thing about it though is with discerning, it's a choice. You have the ability to pick and choose. And not everything someone says to you, even if they're your best friend, is not always the best thing for you. So you can glean from the information that you're getting from other people around you. And I don't have nothing wrong with that. I mean, as for iron sharpen iron, that's what I'm looking at. I'm looking for somebody who's going to be able to challenge my thinking, because the Bible does say all of us are right in our own minds. And I know damn sure I've been wrong several of times. So in that, like whenever I question myself, like, hey man, am I tripping? Like, I don't have no shame in that. I don't have any shame in that. As a matter of fact, I'll count it as being courageous in reaching out for help. And I was listening to something about mental health. Whenever people hold certain things in, they get into this certain form of depression. And you have to be able to find people that you can confide in to vent to them. And some of the times it's like you're bouncing things off of each other, and you could pick up something you have no idea that you could do. Hey, how about you try this? Like, damn, I didn't think of that. I enjoy that. I enjoy it. Now, everything that somebody says, I'm not applying it 100% to my life. I'm gleaning from it.
I think that's good. And what I hear is that like you'll pull it in certain stages, right? Because it's like you won't at certain levels within your marriage, or if you came from a broken home, you haven't done it before. So if anyone has the blueprint, which is why many of us talk about building generational wealth, right? Like we're creating a blueprint for our families, for our children, for our legacy. So I think it's a combination of both, that you do take that in and then you weed it out, right? Because, like you said, Dwayne, you can pull out what you need. But then I also think, like Lady Di said, is being confident. But I do think you get to a place where you are confident once you have begun to build that trust and you've had more wins within your communication and your relationship that allows you to be confident in your decision making. But of course, every marriage will get to a point where they've encountered something that they haven't experienced before, because your spouse isn't going to be that same person that was with you 5, 10, 15, 20 years ago. They're growing and developing just like you are. So just really finding that tribe to date in community to be able to hold them accountable. That's what I will say I adore about like the person I'm dating, their family is very invested in the success of our relationship. And if it's a period where he's being stubborn or whatever, they're having a family meeting like, hey, you got to get it together because this. And so there is value in that level of accountability too.
So, I'll say this: like when I was younger, when we first got married, I definitely don't think I had the confidence to be able to say, you know what, I got it. You know what I mean? Like I don't need outside help. You know what I mean? That wasn't the case. Now I'm in a space where it's like I got this. Like I'm very confident in my space, in my position, on my square as the head of this household. Like I'm very confident in my position right now, right? So I do get what Prototype was talking about earlier, right? I also was raised in a broken home, but my wife, that was one of the things that I found out later on why it was so important, that the woman that I married, she had to be from a dual parent household, right? That was important for me. So some of y'all have heard me get on the platform and talk about that, but that was extremely important for me when I picked out the woman I wanted to spend the rest of my life with. I wanted to make sure that she was from a dual parent household, like a nuclear family, right? So that was cool. So that's I'll say that has helped me a lot. Being able to bounce off of that, and then also being able to see my Auntie Gail and my Uncle Willie within their marriage, right? I was able to see that growing up, right? So anyway, that was my take on that.
I was gonna say that, like, what I was saying is, like, if you have, let's say you have an argument with your spouse, loved one, I'm saying, like, don't go to somebody and be like, hey, who was wrong in this situation? What should I do? That's what I'm talking about. Now, if you are just walking a space and you're with people who love you and they want to just throw out some random advice to you, sure. But I'm just saying, don't seek help or advice from, like, unless they've been married for 50 years, it's your grandparents or something like that. And you and your loved one could go to them with humble and honest, and they're going to be humble and honest with you back. That's different. But I'm just talking about nothing that to that extreme. If it's not like that, 30-year, 20, I say 30-year marriage, then I'm saying, like, just kind of go through it with your significant other on your own. Now, Dwayne mentioned mental health. I'm a huge, advocate for that. I think that we all need to learn about mental health and what it looks like, because there are symptoms that a lot of us that we can have, and we don't understand. Okay, well, this is relating to let's say anxiety, or that's relating to depression. I think we should all study it, and then, and I'm not saying nitpick your spouse. Oh, well, you have this symptom, so you're depressed. No, I'm not saying it like that. We have wisdom with it and be like, okay, over time, like a year, you notice this person, sleeping all the time. And you're like, well, what's going on with you? You gotta let it kind of run over some, and then you could discuss it. But I'm just saying, like, just be careful who you speak to, and be careful who you let in your relationship, because the same people you let in could, like, literally destroy it by saying things to you that they might not say to the other. Well, I think, for example, Dwayne, I'm just going to use you for example. If you have a friend and you share something about your wife, that person could say something completely off and wrong observation of your wife that make you think that she's something that she's not. And I don't think that would be fair to her. You get what I'm saying? Because it could be complete opposite. They don't know. So I just say, study your partner every day, because times do change and people do change. But if you don't study your partner, your spouse, or whatever you want to call it, you might be missing out on some valuable information that you can handle on your own. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, and I respect that. A lot of the things, resource. Our church provides some phenomenal resources that has tremendously helped me throughout the last 10 years, from dating to marriage to then having kids. There's these deficiencies that I had, right? These are these blind spots that you don't know about them until you know about them. And then once you know about them, it's like, what are you going to do about them? So in that, like, there's a lot of things, you could go off and you could do on your own, but at a point in time, you need a teacher, like someone who's willing to learn you something. And in that, like I've had as for our church, tremendous resource. My wife and I, we went through through premarital counseling before we got married through the church, and then we went to 2 16 weeks courses for our marriage, and the resources in there is phenomenal. Like, because again, like from what I saw modeled for me, like I didn't see it modeled right. So what does right look like? Like from a percentage standpoint, what do we see in culture? What do we see in all these things? Like, where do we see it modeled right if we haven't seen it modeled in our lives? So being able to then surround yourself with people who have seen it modeled and desires to see the institution of marriage thrive, not just survive, I mean like thrive. That's where I would like to surround myself with, and I'll even give a shout out to Bernie and Alicia who teaches our marriage class. Like I could call them and be like, hey, this is a situation that came up, and like I was saying earlier though, Miss Lady, I will not share something in malintent or negative or derogatory about my wife, like. Because if I do, I'm opening myself up for somebody to do that to her, right? So from the start, like I'm going to, I'm talking about me. And one of the things about a marriage class is stay in your hula hoop. That's what they say. Stay in your hula hoop. Like, don't go off talking about what they did. Well, typically address what you did, right? And that's one of the things. Like, I don't want to. The only reason an argument would happen is if I'm involved in it. If not, she ain't going to be arguing with herself. I ain't going to be arguing with myself. So in that, whenever we do have these disagreements or whatever, and I could be like, hey man, like this is how I thought about it. And am I tripping? And I don't see any fault in getting feedback from people who want to pour into your life. And again, that goes through that process of vetting. Like, you have to vet your friends. Like, you can't get this close. Like you have to have your credentials. You have to have a good credit history in the sense of credibility as a friend. Like, if you can't mess around and your credit score as a friend is a 500, like, no, you got to be in the 800 high in order to be close to me. So in that, like, and even based on the advice that is given to me as well, there's quality to that. So if I'm getting quality advice where I'm like, man, you know what, that's good, I see us being prideful, I could approach that differently. I could deal with that, because it's like, hey, you could do better, and somebody want to make me do better, man. I could appreciate that.
That's what's up. This is a really good dialogue. I like how y'all transition, and I didn't have to necessarily ask another question, and that makes it for a very good dialogue. And so, but I want to kind of piggyback off of what Dwayne was communicating about. When you have a conversation with your significant other, your spouse, your relationship partner, however you want to look at it, I want to know, like, what is the grace period that you give them in order to make this change that you have communicated to them that you have issue with? Whether it's, they talking too loud, whether they eating too much, whether they got on the wrong shoe size, you know what I'm saying? Like, whatever that case may be, right? Like, what is the grace period, and how do you handle that if they have not changed, right? Does that make sense of a question? All right. So we're going to start off with Crystal, right? And then you'll choose who goes next, right?
Perfect. Yeah, that's a really, really good question. For me, in my relationship, I look at it as really being mindful and holistic about what issue am I bringing to my partner. So if it's having difficulties with communication or expressing himself with his emotions, I take a moment to dive deep and kind of look at the fact that, well, he only grew up raised by his mom. He only grew up in a very introverted household. The whole house was very quiet and reserved. So me, very expressive with my emotions. I will talk about any topic under the sun for an hour, 2 hours, however long we need to talk about it to get to a resolution. I find myself making sure that first I'm clearly communicating with him. Hey, this is why it's important for me, for you to share, communicate with me in this way. What are the steps that we can take to collaborate in for both of us to get there. I think that when you're really working on a quality relationship, again, working on that vulnerability, working on that intentionality, that there is a time component that's attached to it. And first, you have to be open to allowing yourself to look in the mirror to realize that I'm not perfect and I'm probably not meeting every single need or expectation that this person has and desires of me. So am I willing to journey in this direction to change things, to grow in who I am, and allow a space where this person, my partner, can also grow in who he is. So I think when it comes to those core things about how I grew up with divorced parents, with domestic abuse and violence, things like that, that's going to come with me having to really navigate through to express myself and to make sure that he understands where I'm coming from and where I'm willing to change and grow. And then in return, I offer that same grace there. Now, of course, if it's something little, then I think personally, I have like timelines and things like that as it relates to where are we going in the direction of our relationship. I think as a woman, I look to my person to have that leadership component, to take initiative, to go ahead and be that influence of change. But I think it really is not something that's black and white. It's a lot of gray with being willing to just partner with someone to say, hey, let me first take the time to see where you are, why you're there, and let's journey this together. If my goal is to, again, have that nuclear family, have a marriage that lasts, and not just a happy wedding day, but a relationship and a marriage that's healthy, then I want to journey with that person and really understand how I can be that supporter that encourages them to want to make that positive change, and how I can open myself up to change positively as well. So that's my tad bit. And I'm going to go with Quest next.
So this question kind of throws me a little bit, but I guess the thing that I can think closely to that we've done in the past is, like I mentioned last week on the show, that we used to do this thing like a little report card thing, right? Where we would give some time, we'd mention what our grievances were for this period, and then we'll let 3-4 months go by, maybe 3 months go by, and then we'll come back and if it's something I threw out there, like I don't like how you scratch your ass when you wake up in the morning, you be scratching your ass all in my face, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I don't like that, I want to see after I told her that, is she's still scratching that ass the same type way and she ain't changed nothing, you know what I mean? Or is she actively, she wake up and she go, you know what? He said he ain't like how I would, you know what I'm saying? So like, that's one of them ways that I give grace to, like, so long as I see that there's like an honest effort. But if I don't see that there's an honest effort to change something or, address something within that I brought to you or whatever, like, come on, man, we got a problem. That grace period I would suggest is probably just a couple weeks, because I don't think it should take that long. But if it's something you've been growing up doing, like, for example, you grew up all your life going some shit like that, right? That's not. Hey, look, my wife don't do no shit like that, but I'm just saying,
bro. I had to do that before, bro. Like this. That's the thing.
Okay, so you grew up doing that, right? Your entire life, but you with your spouse now, and he don't want to hear that shit. You know what I'm saying? We give you, multiple weeks. I give you some grace. I give you a little bit longer. It's something you've been doing all your life. But if it's something that's not that serious, you know what I mean? Like, come on, man, just put forth the energy, the effort. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I'm gonna go to my dog, Ricky.
Hey, no, man, I agree. Hey, shout out to my boy Q. He said what I was gonna say, man. Me, I'm not trying to change what makes my wife her. You know what I'm saying? So that's not the question, right? I've been married for 20. It'll be 23 years this year, y'all. So I got a little legs on some of y'all, right? But
wait. Let that breathe, please. Let that breathe, please.
But
that breed, please. You know what I'm saying?
this is what I live by. If it's big enough to bring up, it's a big enough problem to fix. It's just that simple, right? If she bring up, hey, you know what? I don't appreciate you leaving the dishes in the sink. That's a problem. Fix it, right? So what time frame? Immediate. You grown. Right? We ain't talking to no kids. Well, I don't feel like it. Okay, I don't feel like paying his mortgage. I don't feel like paying these bills. Right? I tell her, she's like, I don't feel like cooking. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's immediate. We, hey, Quest, know what I say. We solve problems. We don't make them. Right? So we supposed to be growing in these things, man. That's the whole thing. Like, everybody want to use excuses of why you don't want to work on your marriage or why you don't want to work on you. Nah, if it's not something in the core of you that doesn't change, but that shouldn't be a bad thing anyway, right? Hold up.
Did you hear what I said?
That shouldn't be a bad thing anyway, right? So you shouldn't be asking your partner to change. That's your partner. I tell you, I love my old lady for what she is and what she ain't. Right? So the stuff that's a nag, it should happen immediately, or when we get back from vacation, or when we get back from our vacation, or whatever, right? But it's gonna get handled because we understand the synergy we got. It. We need each other to work this thing out. So I think most problems could be well, I ain't gonna even say problems, they're issues. Issues can be handled immediately if both people cared the way they say they care. So, and I got Proto. He said you look like Roy Jones Jr. So that's the third person.
So look, man, I'm gonna kind of piggyback off of what you just said, bro. It should be instant, and if a person's not changing instantly, then either they're disrespecting what you brought to the table, or maybe there's like some underlying issue that they just don't agree with. So they might agree with it for a minute, but then resort back. That's the biggest thing I've noticed is like you'll bring something up and a person will change for so long. And then after some time, we'll go back to, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, like the coast is clear. Let me go back to what you don't like. You know what I'm saying? After, so you be fooled and it kind of, it gets you in that report card, right? If you're doing a report card system, they'll be like, all right, I'm gonna pass the report card this quarter, but that next quarter, I'm right back to scratching that ass. However, I'm scratching it. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that's one thing you got to kind of be aware of, is they're not fooling you. And if they, you know what I'm saying, or y'all have the bottom line of whatever the issue is understood. And that's the only thing that's going to cause the permanent change. But the change should be instant. So
my bad. Were you done?
Yeah, I was done.
So my only pushback is if there's a habit, it can't be instant. So like I was saying, where you got the thing in your ear, or like, you know what I mean, you can go on my IG and see where I said, like, I'm gonna stop calling black people that I think that are contributors to society, they doing right by our people. I'm gonna stop calling them niggas, but I'm gonna continue to call niggas. Do you know how many times I done called my homeboy nigga since that?
No, I get it. I get what you're saying.
Hard, you know what I'm saying? Like it's hard. You can't just do it instantly all the time, depending on what that thing is.
It depends. It depends on what it is. I mean, right? Something like that. Okay, yeah. The little, I can't make that noise you made, but something like that. I get it. If it's just a habit that they just, you know what I mean, somebody like that sucked their thumb and been sucking their thumb since the beginning of time, something weird like that. I get it. But as far as bringing up issues that y'all having just in a relationship, like, you know what I mean? Like maybe you don't like the way she like snap her teeth, or, you know what I'm saying, respond when you say something. You're like, oh, I don't like that little attitude thing that you got going. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We not moving forward like that.
Right.
So you got to kind of address that. And like I said, you got to watch out if it's only going to stop temporarily or long term. You know what I mean? So you kind of understand why you don't like it. She has to understand that, like, look, I'm not going to respond well if you keep doing this, and this is what it's going to cause. But maybe, you know what I mean? And maybe you got to go into that in-depth conversation the second time you see it. You know what I mean? So address it every time it come up, and then like, look, I keep addressing this. That's strike one. That's strike. I'm not saying they're going to be struck out. You know what I'm saying? We talk about longevity here, but you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, so you got to, that's the weird thing about marriages. It's always teaching. It's always learning. You know what I'm saying? So you got to keep addressing stuff. And one thing I noticed is like mine becomes more mine as we go on. You know what I'm saying? It's
Say
a
that
long
again.
process. Like my wife becomes more my wife the longer we go. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So like the first day it was just me and her, two separate people, but she looks more and more like my wife. My idea of my wife, because it's a constant molding, it's constant adding, it's constant addressing. You know what I'm saying? On both ends. You know what I'm saying? So if I keep bringing up, I don't like this, I don't like that. Let's
You
handle this
become
like that.
one. You
Y'all
become one.
yeah. So as time goes on, you know how they say y'all partners start looking alike.
Mhm.
Before you know it, y'all dressing in the same clothes. Like, that's what you wearing? Why you copying me? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Before you know it, like, you know, she wearing the same. Like, if you wear shell toes at the beginning, she ain't like them. By year 3, she start wearing shell toes out of nowhere. You like, why you start wearing shell toes? Well, I'm becoming who you are. You know what I'm saying? They copy. You know, a woman's a mirror of us. They copy us. So.
Yeah, but then they be trying to act like, nah, you trying to wear what I'm. Nigga, you know
Bruh.
damn well I had this shit picked out already. Don't play with me, man. Come
That's
on.
a real one.
Come on, bro.
Who you got, Prototype?
Man, let's go with Shay.
I'll say I agree with what everyone has said for the most part. How I address things, and I had to learn this. Really being intentional about the things that I do address, not bringing every single little thing to him, because no one is perfect. And I'm not perfect, but that's coming from a perfectionist, the accountant in me that likes to see the I's and the T's. So there was a lot of self-reflection that I had to do first in regards to the types of things that I'm bringing to the table or complaining about. And then I'm very graceful in my approach. I think I'm just evaluating, is that desire there? Is that intention there to change whatever I brought to the table? And then give time for that transformation. Like it. I wish it was immediate. That probably would solve a lot of things, to where it's like, okay, I woke up and I don't do it no more. Voila, it's fixed. We don't have to talk about it again, but it don't always happen that way. So you do have to extend, I don't want to say an exorbitant amount of grace, but there is a lot of grace that you do have to extend there as you are molding to becoming one with that person. And so always remembering the end goal too. So if you have that end goal in mind, which is to have a healthy, long lasting marriage, then you are prepared to just journey through whatever those issues are, and you're going to want to change. If it's affecting your relationship to that extent, you won't even see it as a bad or a negative thing. You will welcome it happily. All right, Lady Di, what you got?
So I had to learn that if I had a lot of things that I wanted to change, I had to realize that there were things that would destroy the relationship and there's things that's not. So when I used to think, okay, you got to change all of these things, I was like, yeah, this is not going to happen because they're just foolish. That just came with maturity. So I do want to say, be mindful of the things that you want someone to change. Like if it's not going to hinder your marriage, then don't even bring it up. You could hint it throughout the marriage, but not like it's a problem. You're just helping them get better on something, right? But the things that needed to change in the beginning of our relationship, there were things that needed to be immediate change. So like with me, for example, I used to be very sarcastic, right? And my husband would look at that as disrespectful. For me, I'm like, I don't see a problem because half the time I'll be joking, but it do be kind of disrespectful at the same time. So I'm like, okay, I get it. And he felt disrespected. And I was like, yeah, I'm not trying to disrespect you. So that was immediate. Now I wasn't like that all my life. I just started to become like that in my teenager years and my young adult. And then that literally changed like within a week, because it was like every time I see his face, I'm like, yeah, I ain't trying to have those problems. So for me having respect for him and I cared for him, it was like that, right? Same thing with him, same situation, immediate, because it would mess up the relationship. But then there are things that it's not going to mess up the relationship. It's just kind of like annoying, right? You're like, yeah, this needs to change. But then it's like, if it's a habit, like I guess what Quest was saying, realistically, habits don't change overnight. They don't change within a few weeks. It could take a year or years. So what I learned to do was not put a timeline on that. Because if I start putting a timeline on it, I'm going to start looking at you crazy. I'm like, yo, I said 6 months. It's June, right? So it's the summertime. So now I'm going to start to kind of be in my mood. And I don't think that's healthy. So I would never put a timeline on the things that are habits. I would say you still have to throw in some encouragement, some hints in a respectful way so they could want to do it. Then you be the example. This is the famous line, be the example that that you want to see. That really does work. You just got to keep doing it, be patient, and then eventually in due time, I can't tell you how long because sometimes it takes time. Just understand that that person still loves you because they with you. Don't look at them like they crazy because they didn't change something. Give them that grace. So that's all I want to say. And Dwayne. You're muted.
Muted again. You muted again. Look at you.
Hey, anyway.
Hey, we're gonna start calling Dwayne can't get right.
He can't.
And my dude is in technology. That's what be tripping me out, man. When you be doing this,
That's
and
true.
you so consistent too, bro.
Hey, you know what? I thank y'all for the grace that y'all have shared with me in this moment of my deficiency. So
We need that. We need that. We need that fix to be immediate, bro. We need that.
I need a huge sprinkling of that grace, boy. No, so I look at the question in the sense of how much grace do I need, and because I know I make mistakes, and sometimes I look at my kids like, man, I just told you, come on, man, like why I gotta keep telling you over and over and over again. But then I have to look at it like I be doing the same thing. I be acting up sometimes too. So in that, I do need grace, or so then I have to then be able to extend it. And I think there are ways to measure what your complaints are and the significance of bringing them up, like y'all made mention of. And one of the things they brought to our attention is, has the action that you've done, has it caused you to sin against your partner? Is leaving your socks in the living room, is that sinning against your partner? No, I don't believe so, right? So like, as for the extension of grace, yeah, you need that, but it's not as high as if your spouse sinned against you. You lied about something, right? Like, how many times you gonna be graceful about that? Like, until it's detrimentally impacting your relationship. I think sins will impact your relationship much more than deficiencies. Now, if lying, like, again, like the way I'm looking at it, like lying, cheating, stealing, all these other things, right? Like, if you didn't pick that up from like the jump, like from the start, like throughout the relationship, then that's a problem if you're not able to identify those things. So for me, like, I stay far away from those things because those are huge detriments to our relationship. So whenever it comes to my wife, like, hey, only things that I'll then point out and be very weighty on is if there's sin involved in it, because I know that's going to impact us, not just her, not just me, but it's going to impact everyone. So, but I know, like, as for leaving socks on the living room floor, that you'll get. Some people don't care. Like you Quest, that thing where you talk about that's me. I got allergies. My wife has straight up told me, hey, you got to cut that out. She was one, yeah, you got to cut that out. And I got to respect that, because like throughout my whole life, I have allergies and I do the same thing. So what I got to do, I have to be conscious of it now. So just as long as I see there's an attempt being made, I'm happy. That's maturity. Like, practice makes perfect, some may say, but also practice makes permanent. So if you continue at it, like, you'll eventually get there. I'm happy if I see you trying, and my wife respects me enough that if I do bring something to her attention, she'll make an effort. in the same instance, it goes around as well. If there's something she brings to my attention, hey, I really don't like this. As petty as I may think it is, right? I have to then start to be able to show respect in my response. That hey, if you care about this, I care about it as well.
That's good. Has everybody went?
Yeah, hey, real quick, Humble Dad. I'm about to call you Super Dad, but you that too, though. You know what I'm saying? You that too, though. You know what I mean? Are you monetized, my boy?
Not yet. I need probably about.
I'm seeing a whole.
Yeah, the money. That's. I think that's over there on Rick.
Here, my channel.
So how it works is I need about 440 more people. Is what I need to get to monetize, and I think some more watch hours, right? But how it works is that I put it. Ricky is able to stream to his because I clicked on a button on StreamYard, and so I don't know if everybody has that, but if you have it, you can click on it, and people can go to your platforms.
I see that.
Yeah, I'm streaming on mine too.
Yeah.
Oh shit! I mean, I ain't okay.
StreamYard getting fancy. They fancy now.
Yeah, they getting fancy.
Y'all cute with it. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. So I appreciate Ricky and Prototype. You know what I'm saying? All those that are streaming the live. I mean, I'm having a hard time keeping up with the comments, like because it's strolling.
We're gonna get you there. Y'all make sure y'all. I got the link pinned to the top of the chat on my channel. If y'all haven't, please, for Rick. And these great people on the panel, man, go to the top of my chat and click on that link. Subscribe to Humble Dad. He do this type of positive talk every Monday. Come on over here, subscribe. Let's get him to 1K, y'all. Go ahead and click on the link.
Hey, and more importantly, look, I know a lot of y'all be subscribed to other channels that's out there, whatever. But if this is the lifestyle that you want for yourself, for your household, right? Like, come on over here. Right, because we're gonna be dropping gems and dropping jewels and all that. I know some of y'all like Quest dropping jewels. Hell no. I ain't always here. You know what I'm saying? Humble Dad. You know what I'm saying? Prototype, the OG GOAT, Ricky. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? They dropping straight gems in here. I'm learning from these dudes and from the ladies. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, come on, hop y'all ass on over here and subscribe to my boy channel, man.
I appreciate that.
Before I be in your bushes.
Oh man, here we go. Let me it was some super chats. I was, you know, something like I ain't had to read these before, so it's like new territory. And so, but anyway, here we go. There is the accountability partner, $5. Appreciate that over there. It says, no offense, I thought Prototype was Roy Jones Jr.
Y'all must have forgot, you know what I'm saying?
And then back at it again for $5. He said, we speak of solutions. This is the solution. Married folk talking positively about marriage. Yeah, that's what's up. So that's the goal. And even if you're not married, you know what I'm saying, you've been in a relationship, you should know what it takes, even if you would say failed at it, right? However you want to look at that word, right? You should be able to learn from the things that you've done right as well as things you've done wrong. Marcus Evans said, what up, good people?
Let's go, Marcus.
And Marcus Evans also says, great conversation tonight. All right. So shout out to those that have the super chats. All right, bet. All right. So I think we got about maybe two more questions. I try to go at the flow of the panel, and y'all did a really good job. Like, it's impressive to me. Because sometimes people don't know how to flow with a conversation, right? But I like that you all are able to kind of piggyback off of each other as well as be able to give your take on a particular subject matter, and that's where it grows. In my estimation, this is me, right? I don't think that we always have to have a situation where there's a person that disagrees with me in order for us to grow, right? So I believe that if my goal is to talk about positive marriages, then I can have people that support positive marriages and we can have that dialogue. So that's just me. Everybody do what they want to do though, right? Mm-hmm. So we kind of talked about some topics that I had went through that I was thinking about having, but I want to go with this one, okay? And this would be fun, I think. How do kids impact your sex life?
I'll start it off.
How do kids In fact, your sex life.
Well, I'll just go ahead and start it right on off.
and
Yeah.
you don't have to call on nobody. Whoever want to speak on it can.
So, I got a 2-year-old back here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He just turned 2. Shout out to Baby Quest. You know what I mean? He be in the way. Okay. Multiple times we in there trying to get our cut on, you know what I'm saying? And sleep, bro, what are you doing? Like it's often. It's often. He definitely be hating on your boy. How do kids impact our sex life? Yeah, nah. He won't go to sleep when we need him to go to sleep. Those will be the nights where he's like, he done his second wind. Just doing shit that he don't normally do. Like, bro, you supposed to be knocked out right now. You ain't napped all day. Intentionally. So you could be asleep right now. Nope, second wind, climbing on the walls, like just tearing the paint off of everything. Like, yes, this is regular.
I agree. Like we had to learn that it's not going to be a perfect scenario, situation, whatever it is that you like to do, music, candles, you might as well throw that shit out the window and just do it when you can. That's how I look at it. I got 4 kids in my house. One of them is older and then the others are very young. And it's the same thing. And it's just the expectation. Well, at least for me, I can't speak for my husband, but at least for me, the expectation on what I think is an ideal way to do something, it's not happening. And I know for us ladies, we're more emotional and mental on things, so we try to have the distractions gone. But then sometimes the distractions are there. So I had to really learn, like, let me change my mindset. Or, I'll be one of those wives, and no shade to nobody, but I have to throw this out there. I'll be one of those wives that, we're going to do it once a month or once every other, because I'm just throwing some hidden gems right there. There are ladies literally that are married and they would not get sexual with their husband because of all of these distractions. Do they know that's the reason? No, they don't. It's just, that's what it is. And if you just understand that and you help eliminate the distractions, or try to talk to her and help her mindset change into like you men, I don't think y'all even care about that. You kind of shed light to your lady, like, hey, just tell them how you think. You guys are different. So explain how you think and try to implement that into her mind. And then eventually she could be like you. And then that once a month will go to, every week. And then it'll be a regular, whatever that is for you guys. So,
hey, I'm gonna go ahead and say this. Let me get my mic right. Ladies, if you only doing it once a month with your man, I don't give a shit how many kids you got. You fucked up, dog. You fucking up. All right. Hey, look, hang them little kids outside the windows, put them out the house, tie them to a rope out back. I don't care. Make sure he getting at least more than once a month. This is crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I'm gonna throw them little niggas in the attic.
Use it as an opportunity, as me and mine did. I'm about to tell on my way, right? To explore different locations, right? The kids is in a hotel room, go in the bathroom, right? These kids ain't stopping shit. You ain't stopping nothing, right? When it's time, hey, when nature calls, when nature calls, goddamn it, is what it is. That's how you got here. Don't be mad.
So no, I don't necessarily had it at all. Like the only thing it messes up for me is like I like mine to walk around the house and like little things. You know what I'm saying? So that's the only thing it kind of messes up. Is that, you know what I'm saying? Like,
say no disrespect, Prototype, real quick before you finish. Did you hear Dwayne mic off mute? Did you?
Man, stop playing.
How is off mute then?
Hey, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Prototype. You were rudely interrupted. What were you saying? Carry on, Prototype.
About this.
So no, like that. I was just saying, like, it's like we do everything until they like come around the corner. You know what I'm saying? So if if we're in my office, you know, it is what it is. It's whatever's happening is happening until you hear them little feet. Like, oh, here's little feet. You know what I'm saying? If we're in the kitchen, whatever's happening is happening until we hear them little feet peek around. You know what I'm saying? There's been plenty of times where they done walked in and caught daddy's bare ass. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, daddy. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, like, it really don't. I try not to let it, you know, stop what I'm doing, you know, having them around or whatever. But the spontaneity
How
of
old are your
the
kids, bro?
situations.
How
Huh?
old are your kids? I'm sorry to interrupt, but how old are your kids? I'm just curious.
Well, 5, 8, and 14 now. So it's not. We've been through the baby stage, the 2-year-old stage. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll be flat out. They want to sneak in the bed. Hey, they're gonna feel some motion in the ocean. And that, you know what I'm saying? You can come sleep in this bed if you want to. It ain't gonna stop no show. You know what I'm saying? So it just is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, the only thing it really inhibits is like I said, I like little nothings around the crib. Like, don't, you know what I mean? But she can't dress like that. You know, she just got to throw in the rug, which is still cool. But you know, it is.
I'm an empty nester too, and when your kids leave, it's like a little party that should go on.
We ship ours out every summer.
Man,
we ship ours to California every summer to their grandparents. So you know what I'm saying. So the summertime is the best time. We get it all in. So
get them kids out the house. 18 as soon as I'm just playing.
Is that the only people that want to chime in on it?
No. See, I'm still coming off the sizzle from last week, right? Where I got my tail fired up for trying to answer my question the way I wanted to answer my question.
I cut all them clips for you too, bro.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Did he answer the question? Oh yeah, okay, yeah, I caught that. Yeah, I caught that. Don't even worry about it. I said, "SWAT man, let me get that off delete." Anyway, so Lady Di, question for you: How old is your oldest?
12.
Okay, all right. How old is your youngest?
1.
Okay, all right. So my oldest is 17 and my youngest is 3. And it's 6 and 4 between that. I said to my wife just the other day, I said, you know what? These little kids, they are the biggest cockblockers I know, okay? And I thought I didn't have friends because I didn't want none of that no more, right? Don't be over here cockblocking, but that's what they do. That's what they do. So, like, if I have a disagreement with my wife about the kids, because there's 4 of them, right? Any one of them, that it could be. I'm telling you, it was a fantastic day. And towards the end of the day, one of them act up, right? That crock pot that I've been putting on all the seasoning and all the fixing in just knocked over food on the ground, right? And everybody's supposed to be happy? No. They mess it up. So all this that I've been preparing all day with the wife, smoozing and all this other stuff, fun stuff out the window, right? So the kids can do that like in an instant. So last week, Lady Di, you were saying like you got to do other things like on the emotional side of things, right? I'm trying to get at like, hey, I got to build that friendship. Like, hey, how can I help you? Like, what do I need to do in order to fix it this way and all that? That's to me, that's where where I'm at right now. Y'all empty nesters. You got a 2-year-old. Fine, man. You know, I put some Velcro on him and stick him to the wall, right? But with 4, one of them going to help the other one out. They're going to find out how to flip it around, flip the whole situation on me for some reason, because that's how they work. That's what I've been figuring out. So I have to be extremely intentional in order to set it up. And I don't knock it because kids take a lot of energy. They take a lot of energy.
I have an announcement to make.
Come on with it.
My wife just came out here. I was like, where he at? He sleep? So technically I could be in some yams right now, but Humble Dad, we love
Yamage. That yamage. He could be in the yamage.
We hear Humble Dad. This is so ironic that we having this conversation right now because this is actually the very.
Hey, you
almost done, bro.
See you later.
That's funny.
I see over here looking at me like.
I think it was a yamage.
It was the ladies, y'all good?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have children, and then I'm not married yet, but I did just complete a premarital course at our church. In one of our weeks, we talked about sex, and they recommended scheduling sex, like not that only leaves those days, so you're still open to as many more days as you can make time for it, but they recommended like putting your dates down. So use that as the opportunity for foreplay, use that as the opportunity to schedule the intentionality to say, hey, this is regardless of the kids, regardless of whatever, if we need to go for a walk, if we need to run the Costco and make it happen, like you have your days where it's planned in. So with what y'all are sharing and with that tidbit from premarital, I'm like, schedule it for your main days and then let other days just flow if they come about. And I see a lot of heads like, no.
I'm agree with you, Crystal. I'm agree with you. Hold on, I got you. You're exactly right. You should have a schedule. The schedule is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Right? This the crazy part, right? When you think about it, ain't the reason you married or you want a significant other is that the initial attraction is sexual?
Yeah.
Right? So why is it so hard for people to get it in? You supposedly sexually attracted to each other.
Y'all just talked about kids and other things with life that just happened. So
How you think you had kids?
See,
I know that's how you have them, but once they're here, did y'all hear Quest and Dwayne talking about?
But
listen, they don't know what they doing.
Right. See, but what I'm explaining is that we as people, we always want to make an excuse, right, to keep us away from the things we should be doing for our mates. We always want to make an excuse, right? Again, hey, Quest, get that baby some NyQuil. You know what I'm saying?
Now you know damn well.
Melatonin.
You know damn well I ain't doing
Melatonin.
that shit.
You know what I'm saying? Give us some NyQuil. I'm joking, but you know what I'm saying, right? Like,
yeah.
It's like and I tell people all that it's not the glue that holds your relationship together, but it's a big part of it. You know what I'm saying? So I think that the reason why people lose sexual attraction to each other because y'all stop having sex. I think that's why
about us stopping.
Right?
And
No.
like hey, look, Kendra trying to kick Kendra and who else on here? Was it Peaches? They trying to kick me off this show.
You know what I'm saying?
I can go get some of them. You know what I'm saying?
He's so stupid.
You know what I mean?
But yeah, you know, I just think like if you continue to have that connection with each other, I mean, it's hard to get rid of. But like, it's an excuse that we allow life and the kids, and I'm tired to get in the way of that. You know what I'm saying? So if you make it a priority as you do anything, it's just crazy how to me people in marriages, you can make your work the priority, you can make your kids the priority, right? You can make your hobbies the priority. But always want to put things like sex with the partner that you want it sexually. The reason why we talk to each other is because you saw me and I saw you and I was like, damn, and you was like, damn. You know what I'm saying? And then we want to put that on the back burner. I think it's just about you putting in the effort of what you want. That's just all I think about it.
And then too, like, you know, sex is random. Sometimes it's when you have an urge, especially guys, they have more of an urge than, let's say, us ladies. I can't say certain words, but you know what I'm saying? So you don't want to just have a day, like if you pick Monday, because what about Tuesday, Wednesday, where you was feeling extra hot that day? You're like, damn, I got to wait till Monday. Like, that's too much pressure. You want to, like Ricky said, you want to think about it every day. Like you brush your teeth, you eat dinner. It should be like something that is happening. Because if you think of it like a reality, you think of it like a daily practice, you would know, like, okay, at least after I eat dinner, this is what we're gonna do. It's on your brain. If you keep dismissing it, then it's gonna relate into many problems that you are not, as a married couple, trying to go through. Like when I was saying, people having sexual contact once a month, that's not good. And that's what it's going to happen to, because your schedule is going to be twice a week. That's going to hit once a week, and it's going to keep pushing back because it's always going to be something going on. So you don't want to catch up with your life. You just want to make sure that that's part of like you brushing your teeth. So, but come over to my channel. I do dating to marriage. I tell you like it is. So I tell you straight up, some stuff that, you know, you hear may and may not work, but you know, I don't know. You said your church sometimes it may be sugarcoated a little bit because they probably stay into, you know, into policy, but like real marriage, like what you see right here, like it's not like that.
Well, I will echo. They did say your schedule is there to kind of have that intentionality, but if it's open, then still let that flow. It's not this is committed to only this time. And again, if it's Tuesday and now I'm hot, I can't touch you because we're not up until Thursday. They did share that it's that open flow of it. But to piggy what Ricky was saying, it's more so with that opportunity to say this is intentional to us. It's front of mind, top of mind, so we know that we can get it in here. And then whenever we have the time and it pop up, you still take advantage of it. So
that's what's up.
I think it's a little flow.
Yeah, I think once you have it on the calendar, like once you have it penned in, it's harder to cancel. So they talked about that as well. So it's not by appointments only. No, it's. And as a matter of fact, the wife and I be like, "Hey, can you pin me in for?" You know, so we'll joke around like that, but it's more of a spontaneous thing. But you know, I don't know. The more the merrier, I guess. But at the end of the day, the way I look at it too, it's like somebody said about the attraction. Like the attraction is there. But I guess sometimes I'm looking for more of that hour. So if I'm having an off day, I'm pretty sure she ain't be like, man, oh, I'm so attracted to you, make me hot and turn me on and all that. I'm pretty sure that don't happen. Like whenever I irk her nerves and whenever I'm not acting right. And the same thing the other way. So I think we also then have to mentally be in the mood, and we have to be able to turn each other on in the way that we're looking for. Like guys, hey, again, show up naked. But for the women, sometimes there's a whole list you got to go through.
I don't know. I don't agree with you.
Did you want this is wet?
Irk your nerves if you irk your nerves or not, like, you know what I'm saying? It should never be a closed shop to you, dog. Like,
so the shop should never be closed.
It should never be closed to you.
No, and so from in the Bible, it does say don't withhold sex from your partner unless it's for like fasting, and if it's planned, but you shouldn't withhold. But then again, sometimes relationships can be considered like like a transactional relationship, and
it should still go down. If she's mad at you, like fiery mad, she should still give it to you.
That's interesting. Ladies, what do y'all think about that?
You wildin'.
So
I'm serious.
Ladies, I need to hear from the ladies on this one.
I don't think, first of all, I'm not gonna be fiery mad at my husband, period, because we're not moving like that. Because now, why am I so mad at you? For me to be that mad at you, it has to be something that's gonna mess up this marriage. Like I said earlier, it's only one or two things. If you ain't doing that, I'm not gonna be mad at you like that. We're going to move on, and then we're going to do what we do. So I wouldn't suggest that being a healthy practice. So I'll just say that.
For me, the sex brings us back together. So whatever situation that I was mad at or upset in, I need to feel all that to get me back in my place. And that's an opportunity in the marriage and the relationship to come together as one.
That's good. Any others?
Good job.
That was good. Shay, she being silent. That's cool. I'm gonna read these super chats real quick. Hey, the accountability partner over here.
Shay, you got kids? I'm just curious.
I do.
No, we're not gonna let Shay say nothing.
But I don't have anything to add. I know my place. Like I know when to speak and when I have something to add.
I just be messing with Shay. Me and Shay go back when she was like sophomore in high school with my family. Like she a friend of the family.
Freshman in high school, yeah.
Yeah. So I give her problems all the time.
I have nothing to add. I haven't been in that situation, so I was taking it in for when I am in that situation, so I'm writing notes over here.
How old are your kids, Shay?
He's 11.
Oh, okay. You got
Yeah.
a boy, yeah. You
Yep.
said he all right.
He's 11. So, and then he'll be transitioning to his dad full
Oh,
time.
there she go, excited about it. Go on, plug it. Go on,
Good
plug
job.
it. Shay.
Good
I'll
job.
put
Hey,
it
yeah,
in
nah,
there.
let's
Good
talk about it.
job.
We,
Good
we
So
job.
I'll
let
be
me let me
empty
read
nester,
let me do
and
this real
mommy is
quick.
gonna live with
Shay,
us.
Shay,
Good
let me
job.
do this real quick. I'm gonna read. It's only 3 of them. I'm gonna read, and then you can
Go
respond.
ahead.
Right? Accountability partner says, just put a hat, a sock on the door. They'll figure it out. Okay. Then also says what that comedian say. F
Fuck
them
them
kids.
kids.
And then the last was RJJ, lock the door. And that's one way to do it. All right. Cool.
So I did want. Oh, go ahead. My bad, Shay. Hold on. Go ahead, Shay.
No, go ahead.
I was
You was
gonna
gonna give
say,
you-
man, we can't look. We could try to lock the door, but I got a 2-year-old dog, and if he's standing at the door beating on the, because he know you know what I mean. He know we in there. You know, ain't nowhere we can hide in this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
You know what y'all
We in
doing.
there.
brother.
I ain't gonna be able to perform under that type of pressure. I'm just saying, it's a lot. It's just heavy.
Listen, that means you may have to wake up early or just stay up a little longer.
Oh yeah, no.
That's
And,
just
and the
really-
morning,
yeah.
the morning is the best.
The morning is the best, bro.
Lord, let's talk to the people, please.
Tell the
Jesus.
people, hey, listen, morning. It's I think it's a for men for sure. It's the
I
best.
can't.
time.
I'm missing work, bro. I'm missing work because
I'm late to work for sure.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Fuck
So
that.
I've been
I think you should be able to come in late for work if you're getting it in. Like that should be a corporate rule that you
That
can
should be
come in late if your excuse is you was getting your rocks off.
Let's get it
if
to
you
legislative.
clapping cheeks. It's better that you clap cheeks before you come into work because
Oh
if
man,
I
you're
come
so
into
much
work
calmer.
without-
Your day seems so different. Like your day just so different.
and I'm gonna be real short with some of y'all in that office. You dig what I'm saying? Hey, Mr. Turnquist, what? Yes, can I help you? Face ass.
Your
Please.
manager asked you, "Why was you late today?" Clapping cheeks.
Yeah, bro.
Oh, okay, you're good. You're good.
High five.
I was getting it in. You know what I'm
There you
saying?
go.
So I wouldn't take it out on you. You know what I'm
Period.
saying? They just get it in.
No demerits for you today. No demerits.
None. In fact, you're working on a raise.
Push. I'm finna hit y'all with this last question. All right. A fun question, hopefully. What do you do most? I'm sorry, let's see. What do you most enjoy about your relationship? One thing. What do you most enjoy about being in a relationship? I apologize. What do you enjoy most? What do you most enjoy about being in a relationship? I'm tripping. I'm gonna just put this bad boy right here. Okay. What do you enjoy most about being in a relationship? And anybody can attack it. And we'll go from there.
Man, like I said, man, I tell everybody I love my old lady, man. Shit. You know what I'm saying? My wife, my best friend, man. You know what I'm saying? I love spending time with her. She funny. We crack up at the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Y'all been together so long, y'all say the same things at the same time. Be like jinx, double jinx. You know what I'm saying? It's like she my friend, man. I can't explain it. Like everybody be like, what? Yeah, I can't put it into words. You got to experience it yourself. You know what I'm saying? Knowing that, man, like it's different. I look at it like this, right? All the women I got an ex-wife and I got a child's mom, my baby mother, right? They like me, but they didn't love me. They like you, you know what I'm saying? But they don't love you. My wife loved me with my fuck ups, my good, she rock with me.
That's what's up.
It's different, bruh. It's different. She like me and my and I say this with all hubris, right? If we ever broke up, I feel sorry for her next husband. It's over for that nigga. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not going nowhere.
OV.
You know what I'm saying? It's OV. You know what I'm saying? Oh, your boyfriend. Like, I'm her husband. Y'all do nope. I'm her husband. That's why I'm at with her. You know what I'm saying? I can't see my life without her. I can't explain. I feel sorry for people who can't experience it. To look across the room or the bed and be like, man, that's my wife. That's my wife, man. We done built a life together. Y'all cheating yourself, man. Y'all cheating yourself. I'm telling you, you
Facts.
cheating yourself.
That's what's up.
So I'm gonna say, watching how we have evolved, right? Like, I think that's one of the most enjoyable things about being married to my wife is just watching us evolve throughout since the beginning till now. You know what I mean? Like, so much has changed with us. Things we like as individuals, things as we like, and then together as a unit, things that we come together on versus things that we necessarily didn't back in the past. You know, that evolution is incredible. I love what the fuck we've evolved into right now. It's just kind of speaking like to what Prototype and Rick were talking about, like she's becoming more and more my wife. You see, like what you said earlier, like, man.
You got a whole lot of more, Quest. A whole lot of more. You got a whole lot of more too, dog. You got a whole lot of more.
For real. You know what I'm saying? Like, we just scratching the surface with these years that we got up underneath our belt. Me and my wife been together for 12 years. Been married for 6 years. Right. So yeah, like, we just scratching the surface. I'm excited about our future. Like, here's an example of something that I'm excited about, right? I tell her I think about this final house every fucking day, multiple times a day. I'm thinking about this final house. I have that type of mind where it's like I'm always thinking about design and things that we can add to the house. Or, oh, I found something on IG. I'll send her a text and be like, find a home. She's probably so tired of me saying sending final home text messages, bro. Like, I'm sure she's sick of it, but that's what I'm on, right? And I know that is my job, is to provide that final house, right? Like, everything is with timing, specifically with us. We're investors and things like that. Like, the timing has to be perfect for us when we're doing that, right? And we're there. We're almost there, right? But the evolution of how we started in this first house that I bought back in 2015 and where we moving to now, it's like, man, like, we didn't like that type of shit before. Now look at what we like now. Damn, we geeked up now, Shawty. We geeked up. You know what I mean? It's fun, bro. It's fun. Just evolution itself is just fun. I'm kind of running on, but evolution. Love that.
Good.
Okay.
So, I mean, I'll jump at it. So, what I enjoy most is probably just the constant feminine energy. That's just always around, man. Like, my wife is completely like feminine. I mean, from head to toe. You know what I'm saying? Pretty feet, nice hair, like the whole shebang. You know what I'm saying? So that constant feminine energy, that touch, that rub your head, that touch on your back. You know what I'm saying? All day. You know what I'm saying? It's just that is what you can't replace that, man. And no relationship. It comes with love. You know what I'm saying? And just somebody that loves you and always touches you and always is like there to touch your heart. Like, that got to be probably the best thing in my relationship is that. You know what I mean? And I get sick of, dudes like, oh, what's a woman for? We can just get a hooker and just hire a maid. I'm like, damn, y'all don't want nobody to rub y'all head? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that come with care. Like a hooker rubbing your head and a woman that care for you rubbing your head, it don't feel the same. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So
you're not speaking from experience, and then you just saying, right?
Come on, bro.
The hook only rub. The hook only rub the other head, bro.
Did I set myself up for that?
Humble Dad, what you doing, bro?
Yeah, did I set myself up for that one?
Hey, Humble Dad, you starting to sound like state's evidence over there. What we doing, bro?
Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying?
Just saying what he said.
Look, man, I've heard. That's not from experience. I've heard plenty of stories, man. Like, as soon as you got to pay that money, you're deflated. You know what I'm saying? It don't feel the same. So,
like I said, I'm just messing with.
I'm gonna start calling him District Attorney Humble Dad. Goddamn.
But there's just nothing like somebody that like truly cares for you and their touch always on you. You know what I'm saying? It's different. So that's the best thing I enjoy about mine. So
Dwayne, I'm gonna call Dwayne. Dwayne.
Appreciate your question. No, I'll go with what you were saying. Like the for me, it's the evolution. Because if we in it forever, like watching how we're not the same. Like it's just amazing. Like as a matter of fact, my wife, we were having a conversation the other day, and she was like, we're not the same parents that we were, 5 years ago. And like I, I'm happy about that. I'm happy about that. Like, I don't find any fault in that. If anything, I'm like, dang, I wish I would have learned what I learned now sooner whenever it comes to parenting. But then, like being able to have those milestones, and not only that, like from we have fallout sometimes. I don't see conflict as a bad thing, because I could look to say, hey, we went through some stuff, and because we went through some stuff, we're stronger because of it. So we're maturing together. We're two broken people coming into a relationship, trying to become one, and in that, like, we won't arrive until, like, what it says, until death do us part. So, but in that is that continual maturing. We bring stuff to each other, and hey, I think we could do this better. Like, as for those goals and the aspirations, like, man, I appreciate the fact that she is not as squanderous and as reckless financially as I am or was. But she's able to bring that aspect to the relationship, and I appreciate that, because then we're able to set these goals and where we would like to be, and then once we meet them, we can look back and be like, all right, yeah, we did that. So I do look at what time is, what the measurement of change. So it's like we're measuring how much we have changed, like, throughout these years, and like we're trying to be better people ultimately, like for our household and then on out to the community. So yeah.
Lady
So
Di.
there's actually a lot, but I'm just gonna just say one, and it's the level of commitment me and my husband have equally. Because relationships, as we already know, comes and goes. But to know that someone that I'm with is not trying to leave if things get hard is like the most important, and it makes it enjoyable because it makes me trust him more, and then vice versa, so we can actually have a genuine relationship. Because I come from a family of divorce. They divorced when I was 10. And then my husband too, he come from a family of divorce, but his mother was able to get remarried again, and they were married about 26 years until he passed away. So we do like the idea of having a long-lasting love marriage, because that's how it should go. You get married for a reason. Why should it end? So we love that, and that's what makes it enjoyable. And I can't have it no other way, because if it's another way, then I don't want it.
And I was just going to say the possibilities, literally in every area, it's limitless. Like, the love will grow, the finances will grow. Like, there are infinite possibilities that you can create. It's like you are able to take a blank canvas and go out with it, go all out with it. Your dreams, your aspirations, your thoughts, your feelings, any and everything. You have this lifelong partner to be able to do it with. So it's a level of vulnerability that is untapped, right? And so what you can do with that is just amazing.
That's good. Everyone shared really, really good insights to what they enjoy most. And it gives me something definitely to be excited about, looking forward to, because I do feel like the relationship that I'm in now, I showed up being my most genuine and authentic and true self. And I think in past relationships, I wasn't there at that space for myself, and being able to be there in this relationship and it be accepted and it be a safe space for that, and I get to reciprocate that, makes it something that is going to be an amazing journey. And hearing the years of relationship and love and commitment that's on this panel, and knowing that if I feel that now, I can continue to grow deeper in that and experience that more and enjoy that more, is something to really be anchored to, and to know that marriages work and they're beautiful and they're healthy.
That's what's up, man. Y'all have been a delight. Quest, you wanted to say something real quick?
My bad. I did want to say.
Stop saying my bad, bro. Just
yeah. So I wanted to say a couple more things, right? So another thing, this is something else that just popped in my head, and it's like, no, I'd be remiss if I didn't say this. Is I know when me and my lady first met, I probably was like that 75% of what she wanted out of a dude or a potential husband or something like that, right? So one of the things that brings me joy is the more I step into my manhood and my leadership role, and the more I step into like really own my square, you know what I'm saying? I know that I'm fulfilling or closing that margin a little bit more every single day to where I'm eventually going to be that 100%. And who knows, if she came out here, she may say I'm that 100% dude now, you know what I mean? So that right there, I say, like, watching myself evolve. When me and her, just a small example, when me and her first met, like, I made a mistake in asking her what her credit score was. And honestly, it wasn't really a mistake. Really, like, it was probably one of the best things that could have happened to me, is because I asked her what her credit score was, and she told me, oh, it's like an 840 something. And I was just like, man. And she asked me, she was like, what's yours? And I was like, huh? And my credit score at the time was like in the 5s. It was something stupid. And she was like, oh, that's easy. You need do. And then just crazy, just over time, watching my credit score. Now I was just bouncing back and forth on whose is higher in the 8s. You know what I'm saying? And additionally, on her end, like when we first met, right, there was definitely a level of femininity that was there, right? I told you she was raised in a household with her mom and her mother and her father, right? So she understood what that looked like growing up, right? But like at the same time, she may have been that 75% femininity that I was looking for, but now she's reaching up to like to that 100% level of femininity. So just watching her evolve through our marriage, once again, becoming more my wife, man, listen, man, that is probably the most enjoyable thing that I could put my stamp on, man. That right there. So
that's what's up. And that's how I wanted to kind of segue to the end of this. Y'all have made this an enjoyable night, as always, and I appreciate the time that you have provided. And there's no way that I can go lead a show without saying my part. You know, what I enjoy the most about being with Kendra is that we have fun like every day. You know, we have, you know, we'll be married in June of this year, June 1st. You know, and the most, I think I've never had this much fun in a relationship. She's the funniest woman I've ever been around. She is a support system like no other. One of the dopest things that I could say about her at this moment was when we started dating and she felt like we was getting serious, and I started courting her at the time, I would say, because I got serious really quickly. She changed her schedule. She's a beautician. She's a makeup artist. She does hair, all of those things, makeup school, all that stuff, right? She's self-employed, right? And so one of the things I did not know that she did was she set her schedule to start at 9 a.m. because she didn't know when I would need her with my kid, right? And I was like, one day I had asked her, I said, I really need you to go get such and such or take her to school because I'm not gonna be able to do it. And she was like, oh, that ain't no problem, because I set my schedule to start at 9 when we got serious with each other. And so something like that is phenomenal to see and hear, that a woman would take so much care of me in that regard, right? And even as you see her in the chat, you know what I'm saying? She in the chat shouting out people and messing with people even on the panel, right? So that's the type of lady that I have, and we have so much fun together, and that's my 2 cents about it. So I won't hold you longer. I really appreciate y'all. Hopefully y'all enjoyed yourself on the show. You know what I'm saying? And don't forget to support the people that's on the panel. You got Prototype. He does Tuesday nights, 9 Eastern. Is that right? Okay. On Prototype Dad. Then you got Quest. Him and his son is always taking some type of picture on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? And then you got Crystal. Do you have somewhere people can shout out? That's up to you.
Yeah, you can follow me or stay connected on Instagram. I'm Chris, Krys, the Unicorn.
Okay, Chris the Unicorn. That's what's up. There you go. And then you got Lady Di. Lady Di, do you kind of talk about? I know you said earlier what you do, but if you could tell us where can they find you?
So you can find me right here. It says at Lady Di DTM. DTM stands for Date into Marriage. You could type that into YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, or you could type Dating to Marriage and you will find us. We go live every Saturday at 9 p.m. Eastern. So we discuss various topics, pertaining to dating to marriage. We do have guests come on as well to talk about some positive insight on whatever topic that we choose. We also do help couples live for free on my channel. So if you ever know anyone that may have a question on how to get started into that dating process and how to transition, just let me know. Go to my DMs on my IG and just hit me up. But yeah, so thanks for having me, Humble Dad.
Absolutely. And then my homie Ricky Williams boxing.
Yes, sir.
Man, listen, bro.
What's happening? What's happening,
bro? You the go to me.
Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate it, man.
100%.
I love y'all, man. Y'all know what it is, man. Y'all can catch me here on YouTube, man. Just do a search for Ricky Williams, # TWT or R-Dubs, ARDUBBZ. Pull it right up on my channel, man. I'm one of the hardest men on YouTube and don't get no credit. You know what I'm saying? Every day at work, I got a series that I do called Truck Chronicles, man. I'll be driving, getting to the bag, getting to the money. We just cover everything, man. And I'm gonna let y'all know if y'all come over to me, everybody gets shot. You know what I'm saying? Men and women, we both need to get our crap together. You know what I'm saying? Over there on Instagram at R-Dubs, on Twitch at R-Dubs every Friday night for us, for the OGs, because I'm an OG now. You know what I'm saying? We got a show called Album Ratings where every week I give y'all a poll of what album y'all want to listen to. And then we go on Twitch and we rate the album. Last week we did, well, it wasn't last week. Well, we actually did on YouTube this weekend. We did a versus against Mint Condition and Tony Tone. Right? So that was real fun. I think Mint Condition got it, even though Tony Tone got more hits. Mint Condition is diffy. You know what I'm saying? It hit a little different. But yeah, man, make sure y'all check me out. If y'all follow me on YouTube, y'all see where I'm at everywhere. Again, Ricky Williams, just like you spell it, just like the football player, Ricky Williams, # TWT. Go ahead, subscribe. We got a giveaway coming up for a pair of these headphones, brand new to one of my listeners, so you can listen to the music the way I listen to it. And we gonna get to it, man. Y'all take care. Take care of yourself first, because without you, this universe would not exist. Don't let nobody tell you otherwise, right? If your eyes wasn't here to see it, it wouldn't be here. 2, take care of your family, because who's going to feed you your Jello when you get older? And I like Jello. And I guarantee if y'all do them 2 things, everything else will take care of itself. Y'all know who it is.
Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is...
And we are gone. Y'all take care. Be safe out there, kiddos.
Shay, what you got? Tax season is going on. Where can they find you?
At Shay McNuckles on Instagram and on Facebook. You can follow my firm on Instagram and Facebook, Uptown Discovery Group on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And what is it? TikTok. Sorry, I got a social media person. But yeah, Instagram, Facebook, Shay McNuckles, our Uptown Discovery Group.
That's what's up. Dwayne, where can they find you?
Man, you know what? If I was social like that, it would probably be at on Instagram at No New Friends. No, I'm kidding. No, I don't get that. Just do my little photography. DwayneJonesPhotography.com.
That's what's up. And you can catch me here, obviously. And if you want any type of merchandise or anything else about me, go to humbledad.life. And we out here. Till next time, deuces.
The thing that I like most about being a dad is that I see that I'm about to impact the world.